Well, welcome back to the channel. Slightly different video today, guys, as we're in Lisa's car, well our car, but it's the missus' car really, the Ford Focus, and it's making a right racket on the right hand side front wheel. Every time you hit a corner or a slight bump, clang, 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 so something's not good under there. So in today's video, rather than have a set tutorial, we're just going to have a look at this Ford Focus problem and suss it, because there's bound to be other cases of this same problem. You get these sort of common things that go. So there'll be one of you Ford Focus owners that are having a similar sort of issue. It's like a rattling noise or a sort of dull clunky noise when you go over speed humps and things like that on the passenger side at the front. And it's sort of sometimes if you get like a particularly bad bump as you're accelerating or something, it's like a clang. So something's really loose. So yeah, I'm going to get the wheel off in a minute and have a look at that for today's video, and that could then result in an actual job if I find, like I said, bad anti-roll bar or bushes on the Wishbone or something like that. Then we'll make it into a tutorial on that matter. So welcome back to the channel, guys. My name's Sam Clark, you're watching One Life Cars, and today we're going to have a look at the Ford Focus and a possible Wishbone anti-roll bar front end rattling problem. I'm sure it's a common one. I'm pretty sure that on English roads, on that side especially, that I won't be the first one to have this sort of issue. So I'll stop talking and let's crack on and have a look at it. Right guys, I've got the wheel off, the car jacked up, and make sure you support the car with an axle stand or the wheel or something so it's safe. And just, what I want you to do is, if you've got this problem and you sort of want to have a check around yourself, you want to look at a few sort of key things. So first, your anti-roll bar, that's this bar here, connects up sort of at the bottom of the spring and goes down, connects up to the main anti-roll bar that goes right through the middle of the car. It's an anti-roll bar link, should I say. It's not the actual anti-roll bar, but they get a lot of play in them. They've got little bushes sort of there in them and there, so they can move about as you turn, and the suspension goes up and down. So these can go quite a lot. They're quite a common one. So what I want you to do is just put an hand on it like that, give it a good shake. You'll know straight away because it'll clang about, it'll feel loose. This is solid, it's just moving the old car with it. So we know the anti-roll bar link's good. Next thing to have a quick look at is this bush on your steering rack arm. Tie rod end, I think they're called officially. This comes off the steering rack to actually turn the wheels. A little bush there, again just give it a good shake up and down as well, and straight away you can see it's nice and solid, there's no play in it, it's all good there, so we know that that's good. Next thing, your wishbone bushes. So your wishbone is this big wishbone shaped piece of metal here at the bottom, and it's got a mount on it there, as you can see, and then it splits and you've got a big mount there which has got like a bush inside it. And this one here, the main one, which sits in a rubber mount, like as you can see there. They're not in the best condition, these, but they're not loose. So it's a bit stiff to just test with your hand. I mean, sometimes you can see obvious play by just giving it a good shake around all the joints. That's just the squeak of it rocking on the jack. Either way. Also, you might want to get a bar or something, some sort of crowbar, big scaffolding bar, and just stick it in a few of the crevices and sort of lever it about a bit. See if you can feel the wishbone sort of jiggling loose in the mounts, and that way you'll know if you've got loose wishbone mounts. Sorry about the background noise, it seems to be the day that everyone's doing the gardening. Anyway, so we know on this car it's none of the above things. We've just tested them all, everything's solid, nothing shaking about too much, which brings me to the drive shaft and the CV joint. Now this is your drive shaft, this big thick bar that comes seemingly out the engine, it actually comes out the gearbox, and you've got a CV joint at that end going into the gearbox. Most of the time they stay alright, and then the main CV joint, which is here with this big rubber bit around it, and if you've got a split rubber you'll notice it'll be full of grease everywhere. And this is a big sort of joint inside that enables the wheel to turn while the drive shaft can still turn the wheels. So obviously these are front wheel drive, this is what makes the car go. So the easiest way to test it is if I get my brake itself, I can You can hear it on the camera, I hope. So there's a little bit of test that it is actually got play in it and it's not just a bit clunky sounding. Best thing to do is put one hand on the drive shaft itself, you know, and hold that tight, and then turn the disc with the other hand, and you'll be able to feel, like I can on this quite a lot, a bit of movement where the disc will move still without the drive shaft moving. And obviously all this is meant to be connected together solid as it turns the wheels, so you don't want that play. And that's what causes, you might have noticed, especially on these Focuses, as you let the clutch off in first especially and set off, it's a bit clunky. Or when you turn a corner and accelerate, say if you're pulling out of a junction and turning left or right, as you sort of, especially turning left, as you turn and pull out, you hear the clunk because it's got a bit of play in it. Ooh, right guys, so excuse me, conclusion for today is the CV joint's knackered and we need to change the outer CV joint on this, the Ford Focus. So sorry, I'm telling the missus to wait 1 minute because I'm trying to film. So guys, if you're having this clunky problem, which I know there'll be many of you that'll have similar problems with this car, it's quite common, you know, go through the procedure I said before. Check your anti-roll bar, check your wishbone bushes, check your, also too, and I think I didn't mention in the video, the actual coil spring itself. Have a good look around that because the springs tend to snap. Not so much, I've not seen a Focus with a snap spring yet, but I've done a lot of snap springs on many other cars over the years, so always check the spring too, because that causes that similar sort of clunk noise, especially when you're turning, going lock to lock. Yeah, and like I say, check the CV joint as well. I'm pretty certain it's just that making the noise. I'm going to have another look off camera and just double check everything. The CV joint is definitely a problem. That needs doing. As I've shown you in the video, it's got too much play in it and it's clunking. But also someone mentioned it about engine mounts. They make a similar sort of noise if they're loose. I have already had a look and I don't think it's that. It's more likely to be drivetrain, as that's the common thing that goes, especially on the left side of England. As you know, the left side of the roads are knackered most of the time, full of potholes and grids. So they get battered on that side. I'm going to get that done. And then a future video on this, while we're talking about Focus problems, the clutch master cylinders slipping. So again, if you're having a similar sort of problem, keep an eye on the channel. I'm going to do a clutch master cylinder video on this car soon, which is pretty much going to be the same as the Ford Fiesta one I've already done a couple of years ago, which was quite popular actually. But we'll do it on this separate anyway, as I'm pretty certain it's not the clutch itself. The master cylinders on all these Fords are crap. They break and they leak fluid, so it gets the sensation of a slipping clutch, like your clutch is worn out, but it's not, it's just a master cylinder. But that's another story, another day, another job, another video. So for today's video, like I say, it's not really a tutorial. I've not shown you how to do anything, but I have shown you how to check to try and find the problem if you've got that clunky noise. Like I say, on the Wishbone, get a bar or something in it, because you won't necessarily be able to move it enough with your hands. They're quite stiff. But you'll be able to tell straight away, because it will clunk when you're moving it about. If it's the anti-roll bar, the Wishbone, or like the CV joint with me, you'll hear the clunk as you clatter it from side to side. So just, you know, have a good look round. You'll be able to diagnose it yourself. It saves you taking it to a garage and letting them charge you 50 to 100 quid just to take the wheel off and look at the thing before they've even started working. Future video, hopefully sooner rather than later, will be the CV joint on this car. I'm gonna buy one soon and get it fitted, do a normal tutorial on that. While we're on the subject of the Ford Focus, guys, if you want to request any tutorial on this car, let me know in the comments below. If you've already requested something and I've said yeah I will do it and still not, remind me. I get a lot of comments these days. It is building up now, so I'm getting to the point where no excuses, but I can forget comments, to be honest. You know, if I get a few in one day and then I move on to the next morning, I've got a few more and I can forget. So if you've already asked for something and I've said I'll do it, I'm sorry it's not happened yet, but please remind me. I will make an effort to film it sooner rather than later. But guys, I can't drag this video out much more. You know, we just wanted to have a quick look at the Focus wheel. We've had a look at it, we diagnosed the problem, and then we'll do a tutorial on fixing the problem next time. I hope you found this video useful. If you like these sort of style of videos, let me know in the comments below, because there's a lot of times where I go and diagnose a problem on a car and I think this could be useful information for the channel, and I don't do it. I just do the actual tutorial fixing the problem. But I'm starting to think that maybe you want to see this side of it to help you diagnose the problem yourself before you go and buy a part that could be the wrong one. So please let me know if this is the sort of thing you want to see, as well as the tutorials, and I'll start doing a it's like a diagnose video, find the problem, make sure it's definitely that, and explain how I found the problem and what you can check yourselves, and then do the tutorial and whatever needs changing afterwards. It makes sense to me. That's what I want to do. It's a bit clearer and more in depth, and at the end of the day, guys, the whole point of this channel is for you guys to learn a bit yourself. So you know, it's all well and good me saying, right, if you've got this problem, you need to fit a new car, but how do you know what problem you've got? So I'm going to start teaching you guys that as well, and hopefully you'll become top class mechanics soon, and not better than me anyway. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. My name's Sam Clark. You're watching One Life Cars. If you like this sort of stuff, please hit the subscribe button. You know, it means everything. The support helps me a lot. And if you like the video, hit that thumbs up to it. It gets it recognised, it gets it noticed, it gets the video out there for other people to see and have the help off it themselves. Well, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, peace.